Welcome to Configure It Done, the podcast where SAP leaders share real insights, proven strategies, and stories from frontlines of major SAP transformations. Get inspired, get informed, let's get it done. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new installment, or next installment, rather, of Configure It Done, the podcast. Today, I have Mohit Malhotra joining me. My name is Sara de Cruz, as you should know by now. But thank you so much, Mohit, for joining. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Sarah. What a pleasant day outside today.
Yes.
It's been sunny all along.
I know. Sorry to lock you into this small room that's decidedly not sunny and without a window.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine with me. I think can't be better. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining. As you all know, we are here to talk about some new, I suppose, for this topic of the podcast, some new kind of thoughts around project transformations and how we can discover it. So, Mohit, for some context for our listeners, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for the people I think out there, my name is Mohit Malhotra. I've been in the industry for over 20 years now, mostly SAP. I have traveled and worked globally across North America, Southeast Asia, and ANZ, of course. These days I'm leading transformations, large transformations, and at the same time driving go-to-market in different industries like HNPS, etc.
Yeah.
I transitioned last year in Accenture from my growth markets role into ANZ role, primarily focused today. And largely for the last 6 months, I've been driving the transformation programs.
Okay. And I think today, again, we talk so much on this podcast around different strategies and how to perfect your SAP transformations. Obviously, there is no one size fits all, but I hear that Accenture's got a bit of an exciting offering that, although we were meant to have this podcast a few months ago, so it's a little less new now, but I think it's still very topical. What can you tell us about Accenture's new strategy?
I think it's about art of reinvention, basically. We call it as total enterprise reinvention. It starts with the compressed transformation. That has the 3 elements to it, which is the digital core, the composable architecture, and the interoperability. So I think viewers out there probably would know most of these terms, but for the benefit of the others, I think what we call compressed transformation is about transforming multiple areas of the business simultaneously. We're executing faster, realizing value immediately, etc., all along the way while developing new capabilities. So that's, in short, we call it as a compressed transformation. The 3 elements I talked about, the digital code, etc., that is actually SAP terminology, basically, where SAP is saying it's the technology backbone today, the digital core, that leverages the power of cloud, the data, and the AI together. And then the composable architecture that it is composed of all the composable pieces rather than being static, monolithic, and standalone parts. So I think that's what we call it as basically the compressed transformation.
And is a compressed transformation something that can sit on top of your more, well, I suppose now run-of-the-mill greenfield, brownfield, bluefield approaches, or is it something completely different?
I think that it will more resonate towards the greenfield implementation rather than the brownfield, because brownfield is more about lift and shift of the existing capabilities that the organizations have today, and that moving it into the cloud world, etc. So it's less transformative, should I say? Whereas the greenfield, we have the clients or the companies have the opportunity to reinvent the wheel, should I say? Right? They can reinvent the processes. They can introduce new capabilities along the way. They can really leverage the new capabilities that the tools like SAP and the AI and the Joule has to offer, wherein they can truly transform their the processes from start to end, cut down steps that are not required as of today, and focus on energy in different areas, basically, which adds more value to the business. So I think that's the way I see it.
And does it is this an evolution of a Big Bang transformation, or again, something completely new as a new iteration?
No, I think if you look at the digital core as holistically, I think it's Big Bang is a uh, is more suited. The companies can take iterative approach, should I say, but you have to look at the entire program holistically, and then maybe you can divide that program or carve that program into pieces or bite-sized pieces. That's again up to the business and business basically. So um, yeah, means you look at this whole greenfield implementation basically, and then decide how you want to move forward with it.
Yeah, interesting. Obviously, a lot of our clients at the moment are facing just that junction. We still have, I mean, we were talking about it just before we walked into this room, but Australia is a largely cautious market when it comes to kicking off anything new. No one wants to be the first to fail. They want to see a few people stumble before they start that journey.
Yeah.
So, how do you find when you talk to a stakeholder, or if you're presenting to a steerco, if you're getting this business buy-in, what is it about the art and reinvention that Accenture's offering right now that can maybe kickstart that process a little bit faster? What's the sell point?
Look, I think they would have seen this or heard this many a times by now. But when it comes to us, Accenture, we are really leading the pack with the co-innovation and the co-development with SAP and launching it in different markets with different clients. So we have been at the forefront of the innovation from the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
My first implementation that I led was in 2015 in machine learning with Foodstuff South Island, and it has been 10 years since. And so it's not new. It's just that it has become more automated and is more decisive today than it used to be 10 years ago. So when it comes to the art of reinvention, it's all about how we deliver things. And this is where we differentiate how we deliver. So the strategy and the sales and the elements of this is pretty similar.
Yeah.
But how you deliver this is different. So from a solution components perspective, we look at it as a 4 layers. Right. The number one is reimagining the work. What reimagining work means is basically is re-engineering the processes around outcomes, using AI to automate and augment work, changing how and when the decisions are made, etc. The second element is reshaping the workforce. So what I mean by that is that requires the view of your processes, your technology, and the human capabilities in real time to deliver the continuous capabilities and equip your people and team with the new ways of working. The third element is redesigning the workbench. And this is where the SAP flavor comes in.
Yeah.
It's about to create that intuitive, an interconnected tool set by bringing platforms, models, and industry solutions together as a coherent, connected stack altogether. And lastly, which is the most important one, is rewiring your digital core to create a enterprise digital brain. What I mean by that is adding AI capabilities that put new and real-time insights at a point of need throughout the flow of work. So what happens, the brain evolves over time. And I'll quote an example of what we were trying to do here at Foodstuff South Island. That was in 2015, wherein the GM basically came to us and said, we want to implement the untouched solution. Basically, we want to send our top 20% of our customers 80% of our best offers. Every Monday, it should go out and no one should be touching the system. It should be all automated. That was in 2015. So we had the data scientists with us. We worked out the solution. We created the machine learning models, etc. We trained the models, etc. That was in 2015. So similarly, today that was more static. The models were being trained, etc. And then you were learning from there. Today, it's all automated. The models the AI, it's all dynamic, right? It makes decisions on the fly for you.
And this is interesting because I think that so much of what AI now is, and perhaps this is why it's so difficult to quantify and to like hold tangible results in your hands. But what you've just spoken about, like you're talking about four major pillars. You've got business processes transformations. You've got an element of change in there to make sure adoption's obviously there. You're then uplifting an existing team. And then that final fourth step is that AI kind of, okay, cool. We've set 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
But 1, 2, 3 doesn't stop there. 1, 2, 3 changes tomorrow and it changes the month after that. And then it sounds like AI really what it's doing to this art of reinvention that Accenture's now doing is it's just keeping it moving constantly. Like no more do we just, okay, on button, leave it, turn it off, we're done now.
Yep.
Great job, everyone. Good job with the go live.
Yep.
It sounds like now it's almost this constant, okay, we've now done this. How does it learn what we've just done? And then consistently re-implement.
Absolutely.
Is it about
It is all about that. I think if you look at the couple of offerings, I'll give you another couple of use cases.
Yeah.
Say, so if you look at the financials, the finance and the accounting, right? So SAP accounts receivable. SAP has in the Joule technology, SAP has given basically an accounts receivable agent.
Mm-hmm.
What it does is basically it automates all the multi-step financial close process, identify the follow-ups, identify anomalies that used to take weeks for the process. And I was talking to the CIO of a retail organization in Thailand a long time back, and then he said that it takes 26 days to close. And we said that's just like literally multi-folds of generally it should not take more than 2 to 3 days in an ideal world to close the financial close. But that's how less efficient the process.
Yeah, how bloated it could be.
Yes. Similarly, another example I will use is in the HR space today, right? Which might be more resonating for you and the people. It's about automating the candidate shortlisting. Today, when the jobs is posted, you see hundreds and hundreds of applications being made. So AI basically comes in there and then it helps you shortlist the right candidates for you. It also helps in scheduling the interviews internally within the organization, performance management, etc. So SAP is providing all of this capability with these agents where you can automate all these processes, keeping most of your business processes close to standard and leverage these and focus your energy in some other places for better decision making.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily taking, well, it's taking some steps away from your day-to-day job, but not in a way that negates the work that you do.
No, it's about intelligence.
Yeah.
Like so in yesterday's world, we used to do all these processes manually, outside system, multiple systems getting involved, etc. And in today's world, we are letting technology do it for us and give us the information so that we can better make our decisions, right? So AI without check will not build trust. And this is where the fear comes in. And if you look at the stats coming out fairly recently, that's one of the study was only 9% of the organizations are using AI effectively today.
Yeah.
Right. So the potential is a lot out there. And this is where we see the market is moving forward in this agentic AI space, in the AI space, driving the innovation forward with this.
Yeah. So something that a lot of our listeners and viewers and senior leaders, when we speak to them in person, is more often than not, we get the sales pitch of AI. We get the sales pitch of what this new approach to a business strategy will do for your business, do for your team. But it's all theory until we actually see some form of a business case. Can you tell me about the successes? More importantly, can you tell me about the failures and how you got past them?
I think more importantly, before we come to limitations or the failures or things to watch out, I think let's talk about how Accenture did it.
Yeah.
So I think what we did, we first did the pilot on ourselves.
Yeah.
This total reinvention.
Which is genius, right? What a better kind of use case.
Yeah, it took us basically a few years to get it done. But the key elements of this journey was we moved to a consumption-based landscape rather than being static with monolithic, architecture and different systems altogether not talking to each other. We went to the consumption-based landscape that is now 95% in cloud.
Yeah, wow.
Right. And with a fit for purpose, software as a service, applications, etc. Then we slowly added capabilities without interrupting our business operations, daily business operations, right? The value was the creation of a repeatable approach.
Yeah.
So for all the infrastructure related commissioning, decommissioning, etc. So that really helped us, right? Getting the first layer of the onion right in this case. The second was using the composable architecture, right? Seamlessly replacing legacy environments with the data systems to advance our sustainability goals. We used Salesforce in this case, Net Zero Cloud as a solution. Which was a consumption-based service model. So, service model offering to simplify data basically across the landscape. Then we treated connectivity as a service. What I mean by that is we consume what we need when we need. So with the solutions in cloud and with the vendors like SAP or Google Cloud or AWS or Amazon managing your workflows and data centers, you can really scale up or scale down the capacity that you need, especially to manage your peak loads during the day or after hours, whenever you are running those heavy jobs, etc. So that's where we actually move. Then the fifth element was enabling an omni-channel, omni-connected workforce. Basically, we embedded IT everywhere. In this case, we created the human-centric design. Basically, bringing the new UX, using the sign-offs as a tool to redesign our operating model. In this case, then we moved basically.
Pause.
Yes.
We'll pause here. We'll cut.
Yes. I'm just recollecting my thought.
No, that's all good.
Disconnected. Staff projects faster. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
It was on.
There's so much more content that you think, isn't there, when you start really digging into it?
Evolving right now. This is, yes, we did this case study, but the pace of change is so fast. Everyone is able to keep up. Not actually, anyone can keep up. We can do whatever we can do, but the pace of change is just like way too fast. We just had a internal meeting yesterday, on the same topic, internal learning and all. Yes.
So kind of the path that you've started down is maybe now deviated a little bit too far to continue on.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back when we're ready. Let me know. All right. Then the seventh element of this whole transformation journey was about we staff our projects faster. So we know basically where our capability sits, who is available on bench, who is coming off the projects, when they are coming off the projects, so that our resourcing and the staffing team can actually start planning better and give that visibility to the project leads, in this case, the go-to-market leads, to know basically this is the available capacity that you can probably soft lock or hard lock them as we go forward. Then we basically equipped our workforce with something called Amethyst. Basically, what it is it's a generative AI powered with LLMs, large language models, to revolutionize the knowledge acquisition process. So it's like a chatbot.
Yeah.
You can ask anything.
Got you.
So you ask anything, it replies back, or it at least gives you back all the results that you can go and research for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's about giving the power back to the users in one place, and it took a lot of time for us to build that, because we had to connect all different 40 systems that we had, the ERP, the future ERP, together in one place, so that and create a data lake for that, so that we can get all the information in one place, accessible, etc.
One source of truth.
Yeah, one source of truth. And then we broke away from the conventional coding methods, basically empowering our workflows with the GitHub Copilot.
Yeah.
So I think most of the users would have probably heard that, or probably are already using it as of today. We partner with Microsoft to develop GitHub Copilot to turn everyday language prompts into code suggestions in this case. And I think Joule has a capability, a similar capability, where it can actually review your codes today. So that's another element of that probably is useful in the transformation journey as we go forward. And then lastly, we went into the unified data and insights driven culture. We began by connecting our systems, as I talked about earlier, approximately 40 systems we connected together, making data accessible in real time, all in one place to create a 360-degree value navigator. So I think these are some of the elements of our transformation journey. And there could be many, many more that I can probably quote. But just to give you how we did this on ours first before we actually go to the market and take this as a journey, learning for other clients.
So there are like 10 pillars really there that you mentioned in terms of approaches and things that you targeted. My question here is, if I'm a CIO or a CEO and I'm trying to make the decisions as to, okay, I've got to do this S/4HANA thing, I get it, 2027 staring down me at the barrel of the gun. How do I then make the decision first off in what approach? Like, why would the art and reinvention in a Greenfield suit me? So why would it suit my business? And then secondly, that's a lot of changes that you mentioned. And there wasn't a stoppage time. There wasn't any down tools. Accenture obviously couldn't have a day where you didn't make money and you weren't billable. How did you keep the gears turning in a way that was first not super disruptive to your team? Because again, Accenture's a billable beast. It needs to make the revenue. But for 10 major pillars to all change in that length of time, and yes, it can be over many months, years, depending on the client. But how do you get the business to feel comfortable to take that risk?
I think first, I think as a leader of the organization, you need to understand the value that it brings. Once you understand the value that it brings, then it should start top down. Basically, you need to have that similar discussion with your line of business leaders, etc., your strategy officers, your CFO, etc. But it needs to start. It's all about the mindset and the commitment to change.
You have to want it, right?
Yes.
You have to want it.
Yes. And once you have made that commitment and basically the mindset is there, yes, we need to transform. It's not about just about change, it's about transform. Then that's where you take your first step. And we talked about earlier in the today about composable architecture and all those gimmicky things. But I think it's all about the mindset and the culture that you can. So it start there. Then I think there are a few practical tips that can probably help aid your decision-making process. One of them would be pilot small with a high impact use cases.
Yeah,
right.
Interesting.
Pick your domains with a good data. Data is the key when you use AI. Bad data will lead to bad decisions, right? Or decision making, should I say. So pick your domains with where you feel the data is good. That's number one. Number two would be strong governance and the audit trails. AI without audit is useless. It doesn't build confidence within the users who are implementing or going to use it, or the consumers of it. At the same time, when PwC is asked to audit an organization and it comes with all those people and asks you different data, without the audit trails, you will again lose or fail in this whole process. So make sure when you are implementing AI or agentic AI, you have the human logs or basically approvals, or you have the audit trail or the technical log, all of that.
AI can't do it all for you.
Yes. Yes. So you need to make those decisions upfront that I need the entire audit trail of how we arrived to this decision. Yes, AI helped, but eventually it was you who made the call
Yeah.
at the end of the day. The third one is the data architecture and the integration. You need to think about that, right? If you think about what we did, we had 40 systems. That means our master data is sitting across 40 different systems. So what do I do so that for my master data, it's the single source of truth? So you have to, so there are systems like MDG from SAP who can help make those, decisions easier for you, right? So you need to think through that. Then security, compliance, all of that angles comes in. The most important one, I think, is the human in loop design, the new way of design thinking, right? For critical decisions, retention of human oversight. If everything is AI is going to do, you will face a lot of feel within your workforce that AI is going to replace my work. That is not the case. I think we just touched upon a few minutes back about when you asked me about, it's about doing things differently. It's not about all about replacing the workflows. It's about doing things differently in the future world. So I think these are the ones, and then the change management and buy-in is always
goes without saying, right?
Goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No point turning on a new system if no one's using it.
No, I think that's pretty much it. And it is also easier for a CFO and a CIO to look at the infrastructure cost. Today, you are managing everything by yourself. Tomorrow, it's been all outsourced and been managed in a data center. So your cost of operation goes down significantly. So there are significant savings of moving this into the cloud world, et cetera, et cetera. And that's where I think the shift is.
And what was your biggest learning going on this transformation with Accenture?
I think the biggest learning is, again, learning how you do it, right? The sequencing of the journey, the steps that you have to take. Yes, we talked about mindset. The mindset was there. The decisions were made by the top leaders. It wasn't made consulting us. Decision was made at the top, and then the entire organization was brought on the journey. And similarly, I think all the other 9% that I talked about the number earlier, I think those organizations are doing something similar where the decisions are made at the top, and then so I think it's all about the journey that we have actually gone through ourselves, that we can take our clients through. And similarly, where some of the other clients we are working with or helping them in the other aspects of the journey, we can bring in all those learnings together to help you make that decision faster.
And finally, I mean, AI is just always, I think probably for the next 12 to 18 months, it's going to be that topic that I will soon hear way too much about that I don't fully understand. But what is AI doing for a process like this, for a transformation like this? Again, I'm that CEO. I am a blustering Aussie fella. I don't know what this AI stuff is, mate. Can you just break it down for me? What is it actually going to mean for my business in this context?
Let me talk about the transformation, right? Like the context here is like transforming the organization. So let's talk about the specific usage and of course the fear, the constraints of it, right? So I'll give you three usage elements. Let's talk about the implementation phase. Again, keeping AI is in the center. It can help you in the project planning. It can help you in the risk identification, test case generation, right? Code reviews, I talked about earlier in our discussion, the configuration estimation piece. All this piece of work today is done manually using either some sort of a accelerator or internal tool that you don't have, you as an executive have no. I will tell you what basically this is. But with this AI, if implemented correctly, you can cut down this period fairly. If you look at the planning phase during the transformation, generally it is 6 to 8 weeks to 12 weeks in extreme cases of just program planning. But if you implement AI in the beginning, you can cut down this 12 weeks or 8 weeks of planning or 6 weeks of planning down to mere 1 to 3 weeks. So this is one element of that. The second element is go live and hypercare. Right? We talked about moving 40 systems into cloud, blah, blah, blah. So where AI can help you. Today, you have an army of people monitoring your system performance, identifying anomalies, taking corrective actions, recommending actions. All this can be done automated by AI. So that is the second element of this, where it can really um, help you as an organization, but also cut down the cost, right, of maintenance in this case. And then the third one would be continuous improvement and the operations part of it, wherein automating the future change request, patching of the system upgrades, forecasting demand changes, all of that you can automate using the AI. So if you look at the transformation journey, it's not just about implementation, it's about implementation, it's about go live, it's about the future, the continuous improvement we talked about. And I think that's where I think the CIOs are more worried about. Okay, once you are gone, what do I do with this? What do I do with it? So I think this is really moving in the right direction, should I say? The whole process. It is still evolving. The AI, the agentic AI, the Joules from SAP. This is still evolving, and I think, as you rightly said, next 18 months. We all are watching, keeping our fingers crossed that we'll see more of this.
Yeah.
I think the next wave of change will be from Asia Pacific. I hope.
So do I.
Yeah. And I look forward to be part of that. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mohit. Well, I think that was very informative, at least for me. Fingers crossed we see more of you in future projects of Australia as well.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the last question we ask absolutely everyone that comes onto the podcast. If you had to have one other person on this podcast, SAP leader or otherwise, who would you reckon?
Well, I think I have seen some of your previous guests, so I think it was definitely one of them. But since they
Been there, done that.
since they have done that already, I think from Accenture, I think there are many people probably that can come on here. I think I would highly want to see Chris basically coming on. He
Yeah.
is a big transformation leader, Chris Hubbard.
Oh, yeah.
So he can probably really share some insight,
Do have Chris's
discussions
number.
around transformation.
This can be done.
Yeah, and I've seen Lisa in the past. I've seen Bruce in the past here. Some really, really good. I think Carolyn. I think if you
we are definitely working on getting Caroline Valerie.
Yeah.
So if Caroline, if you're watching it, I will get that.
Yeah, Caroline is it will be a great addition to the podcast series. I think she has really done well and led some really good programs in the past. So I think her insights will be very nice.
Perfect. Oh, thank you so much, Mohit, for coming on. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you all.
No worries.